I still remember the night my life changed forever. The night I said yes to a man I didn't know. Not because I loved him. Not because I wanted to. But because I had no choice. My family was breaking. My father was drowning in debt. And I was the only one who could save them. So I married a stranger. But what I didn't know was, he wasn't a stranger at all. My name is Aisha. I grew up in a home full of laughter. My father was a respected businessman. My mother was kind and gentle. We weren't rich, but we were happy. Until everything changed. Slowly, silently, painfully. Losses started happening in my father's business. At first, he hid it from us. But I could see it in his eyes. The stress. The sleepless nights. The fear. Phone calls became arguments. Visitors became creditors. And one day, I heard something I was never supposed to hear. If we don't pay within a month, we'll lose everything. That night, my mother cried quietly. And for the first time, I felt helpless. A week later, a proposal came. Not a normal one. A deal. A man named Zion. Rich. Powerful. Reserved. He was willing to pay all our debts. Save our house. Protect our family name. But in return, he wanted to marry me. I felt like the ground disappeared beneath me. Marriage. To someone I had never met. I looked at my parents. My father couldn't even look at me. My mother held my hand tightly. No one forced me. But everyone was waiting. And I understood something in that moment. Sometimes, silence is the biggest pressure. So I smiled. And I said, yes. The day I met him, everything felt unreal. He walked into the room calmly. Tall. Composed. Expressionless. His eyes met mine for a second. And something strange happened. A feeling. Like I had seen him before. But I couldn't remember where. He didn't smile. Didn't ask questions. Just said softly, if you're not comfortable, you can say no. That confused me. Because this was his offer. Yet he sounded like he was giving me a choice. But I had already made my decision. And he knew it. The wedding happened quickly. Too quickly. Guests. Lights. Noise. Everything blurred together. And then, silence. Our wedding night. We sat in the same room. Two strangers. Bound by a promise. Minutes passed. Then he finally spoke. You really don't remember me, do you? My heart skipped. What do you mean? He looked at me for a long moment. Then shook his head slightly. Nothing. But that nothing felt like everything. Days turned into weeks. We lived under the same roof. But it didn't feel like a marriage. He respected my space. Never forced conversation. Never crossed boundaries. But he watched me. Not in a controlling way. But like he was trying to understand something. Sometimes I would catch him looking at me quietly. And when I noticed, he would look away. There was distance. But also, a strange comfort. One afternoon, I entered his study, looking for a book. But instead, I found a memory. An old photograph. A little girl, laughing freely. And behind her, a boy. Quiet. Watching her with soft eyes. My hands started shaking. Because that girl Was me. That night. I couldn't sleep. Fragments of memories started returning. A small street. Childhood laughter. A boy who never spoke much, but was always there. He would walk behind me, carry my books sometimes, stand silently when I talked. Zion. I went to him, my voice trembling. You knew me, didn't you? He didn't deny it. Yes. Since when? Since always. Tears filled my eyes. Then why didn't you tell me? He looked at me, with quiet pain. Because you forgot me, and I didn't want to force myself into your memories. He told me everything. How he loved me silently as a child. How I moved away. How he never forgot. How he built his entire life, becoming someone worthy enough to stand in front of me again. And when he found out about my situation, he didn't hesitate. Not because of a deal, but because of love. After that, everything changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but gently. We started talking more, sharing small moments, smiling without realizing. I began to see him differently, not as a stranger, but as someone who had always been there, even when I didn't notice. Just when I thought I understood everything, I found another truth. The money he gave wasn't easy for him. He had risked his company, sold assets, taken losses, all for me. Without telling me, I confronted him. Why would you do all this? He smiled softly. Because loving you was never a choice. Tears rolled down my face. Because for the first time, I realized something. I didn't just respect him. I loved him. I once thought I sacrificed my life. That I married a stranger. That I lost my choice. But now I understand. Some choices don't feel like choices. They feel like destiny. And sometimes, the person you think is a stranger is the one who has been waiting for you all along.